What's up guys, this is Darkbblue, a gamer who loves Souls-like games, looter games, and every game that involves build making. I've been playing Zenless Zone Zero lately. Its combat may look quite simple at the first glance, but actually, there are many advanced topics we can get into. And I will share with you some of my observations in this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's dive right into it. I have tried to look for advanced combat in 3 directions, which will serve as the 3 parts of this video. At first, let's try to analyze the movesets of the playable characters. One team in Zenless Zone Zero consists of 3 characters, but you can only control one of them at the same time. Naturally, you need to switch between the characters. Normally, once you switch, the previous character will go background. But if you switch a mid and attack animation, the previous character will first finish the current animation before going background, allowing more than one character of the team to attack simultaneously. I think this is the key to advanced combat. I name this technique co-attack, meaning attacking simultaneously. Basically, you want to find a combo finisher attack with a very long animation and utilize this finisher for co-attacking. That's the basic principle. The things aren't that simple. Surprisingly, when you co-attack, the previous character won't get any extra invulnerability. So if an enemy attacks you while you are co-attacking, you won't be able to control the previous one to dodge. This fact makes co-attacking a risky technique. So does this game provide any solution besides, well, simply looking for a safe window? Yes. Check out the skill descriptions and you will notice some skills with additional invulnerability, anti-interruptibility, or damage reduction. I just said co-attacking won't give you any extra invulnerability, but if the attack has such ability itself, it works normally. Apparently, it's an important trait to utilize skills with inherent invulnerability or anti-interruptibility along with co-attacking. Similarly, you can utilize skills that make the character move behind enemies for better safety when co-attacking. This is the advanced combat if we head toward the direction of character movesets. If you still wonder how to apply these techniques to your own gameplay, here's my suggestion. Each time you get a new character, check out the skill descriptions and pay attention to words like invulnerable, anti-interrupt, and damage reduction. Also check out the actual animation at the VR training ground. If you find an attack that both is a combo finisher with long animation and has the aforementioned abilities, it can be a good candidate for co-attacking. Now let's talk about the second direction to look for advanced combat, team composition for higher damage output. In Zenless Zone Zero, you need to eliminate enemies fast enough, which leads to the pursuit for higher DPS. While studying movesets is interesting, pursuing DPS can also be fun. For example, support characters can manually trigger quick assist, so it's a good idea to place your support character right before an attack character in the team. Another good question to think about is which character to switch to when doing co-attacking. You can also think about in what order you perform chain attacks given a specific team. For example, when using a typical attack stun support team, I tend to place the supporter at the last place of chain attacks. Generally, I haven't spent much time on optimizing my DPS, so I'm not so sure about this direction, but I believe it will be an important and interesting topic in the future. Now let's move to the next direction. The last direction to look for advanced combat is to analyze enemies' behaviors. Admittedly, you can accomplish many battles by simply paying attention to yellow sparks, but if you want to fight better, you need to actually know how a specific enemy behaves. Let's take Thanatos as the example. Some attacks in Zenless Zone Zero have yellow sparks as hints. This is when you can switch to another character to parry. It can also grant the previous one extra invulnerability, so it's safe to parry. Of course, such attacks are the easiest. Some attacks have hints too, but the sparks are red. These attacks should be dodged instead of being parried. If you mistakenly switch to another character, although you can still trigger the dodging slow motion with the new character, the previous one will get hit. So it's worth practicing to clearly distinguish a red spark attack from a yellow spark one. There are also attacks without any hints. That's when you have to observe and even memorize the movesets of enemies. For example, one attack of Thanatos is comprised of 2 teleporting attacks without any hint and a finisher with yellow sparks. If you want to perfectly dodge the first 2 attacks, it's important to observe its move and memorize the interval. Should you want to observe different enemies, I suggest you go to the VR training ground where you can switch to different enemies. It's a good place for exercising. Additionally, we have been talking about the situation with only one enemy, but in fact, in many battles, you have to face more than one. So how to dodge and how to better offense to hit multiple targets at the same time can be important to think about. In conclusion, the 3 directions to look for in advanced combat are only my opinions and they may not be correct, but I believe the combat of Zenless Zone Zero is definitely not as simple as the first book. If you like my story or want to draw me into depth of games, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you around.